Good morning, my dear students. So, welcome you all on the second session of standard costing, the last chapter, that is chapter number 11. कैसे है बेटा आप सभी लोग? Hope you are fine at your end. तो आप मुझे बताइए आज तो Naveen Kumar, good morning बेटा. How many students are having attempt in May 22 and how our preparation are going on बेटा? कितने स्टूडेंट्स है जिनका अटेम्प्ट मई 22 में है? वरुण गुड मॉर्निंग बेटा. निशिता गुड मॉर्निंग. प्रियंका गुड मॉर्निंग. If you are having attempt in May 2022, no beta, hope your preparation are going on in full swing. Try to complete the first revision before 15th of March 2022, so that you will be having sufficient time, 60 to 70 days before the examination. And don't forget to attend the mock test paper. It's very necessary that you must test yourself in a test environment. The logic is there is almost a gap of 2.5 years since the inter-level examination. So the writing practice, the pressure of 3 hours has somewhat to be managed before the final examination, beta. है ना? तो नवीन कुमार and Naveen Prakash, है ना बेटा? I strongly recommend you that you must complete your first revision before 15th of March 2022. After that, you must plan a mock test paper. If you are going for both the group, plan at least 4 papers in a continuous way so that you can test yourself. If there is any lacuna in your preparation, that will be revealed by the mock test paper so that you can cope up with the remaining time. है ना? So mock test paper is very, very important beta before the main examination. Okay, चलिए तो आज का सेशन अपन अब स्टार्ट करते हैं. In the last session, we have learned a very, very important concept, that is planning and operational variance. Whenever you find out a variance, you must bifurcate the variance into 2 parts. The planning, that is uncontrollable portion of variance, the operational, that is the controllable portion of variance. The management, the manager responsible for that variance should be held accountable for controllable portion only. What we do under the traditional method, we simply compare the actual data with the standard data, that is standard set at the start of the year. While the actual data is during the year of 12 months, it might happen that during this period of 12 months, market condition changes. The raw material price you are expecting is no more available at that price. Due to inflation factor, the raw material price has been increased, or due to increased technology, the same raw material has been available at cheaper rate. So if there is any change in the market condition, you must shift from traditional system to planning and operational variance. What planning and operational variance will do, beta? Planning and operational variance will compare planning variance, that is uncontrollable variance, will compare the standard data, that is the standard set at the start of the year, with the revised standard. That is, the standard had been the budget prepared, keeping in mind the current prevailing condition of the market. What would be our target? What would be our budget? That is known as revised standard. So planning operational or planning variance is an uncontrollable variance. It is based on comparing the standard data that has been computed at the start of the year with the revised data, that is the current market condition of the situation. While the operational variance is the controllable portion of the variance. To calculate the operational variance, we compare the actual data with the revised standard data. चलिए बेटा, अब एक बार वो स्टेटमेंट अपन रिवाइज कर लेते हैं. How the statement will be prepared for planning and operational variance. If we are talking about the material, so every column will be a multiplication of quantity into price. every column will be a multiplication of quantity into price. Correct hai beta? The first column will contain the standard quantity, while the remaining column will contain the actual quantity. But in case of planning variance, we are not comparing the actual data. Instead of actual data, we are comparing the revised standard data. So whenever the actual word arrives, we will compare the revised standard data, revised standard quantity. In the last column, the price will be the actual. Again, in planning variance, we are not comparing the actual data. So in place of that, the price will be the revised standard one, and in the remaining column, the price will be the standard one. ठीक है बेटा? चलिए अब आप जरा रिकॉल कीजिए ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंसेस में आप स्टेटमेंट कैसे बनाएंगे. आई एम गिविंग यू 1 minute बेटा जस्ट टू रिकॉल द कंसेप्ट so that the flow of planning and operational variance will continue in this session also. है ना? So 1 minute for you to recall. Every column will be multiplied by what variable, where we will put the standard or revised standard or actual. Just recall on your own. After 1 minute, I will write down that one. So beta, every column will be multiplication of quantity into price, quantity into price, quantity into price. Clear hai? The first column will contain the standard quantity, but in case of operational variance, we are not comparing the standard quantity, we are comparing the revised standard quantity. So here revised standard quantity, while in the remaining column, the quantity will be actual. In the last column, the quantity will be, in the last column, the price will be actual. And in the remaining column, the price will be the standard one. But again, we are comparing the revised standard. So therefore, the price will be revised standard. As simple as this. I have given you an assignment. If I'm not wrong, it's question number 1. On test your understanding level, I have given you an assignment of question number 1 that is almost similar to question number 4, which we have already done in the last session. How many students beta have done that question? Question number 1 is almost similar to question number 4. How many students have completed question number 1? Please revert beta. And if there is any doubt while solving question number 1, please let me know. How many students have attempted question number 1? And if there is any issue while solving that question, please let me know. I will be more than happy to resolve that one. Okay, Nisha Manikantan have done. Very good, beta. Naveen Kundaram have done that. Naveen Prakash have done it. Okay, very good. What about other student, beta? Have you faced any problem in doing question number 1? It's almost similar to question number 4. What about other student, beta? Please communicate fast. Okay, everyone have done that. Okay, very, very good, beta. And there is no issue. Okay, you can write in the study material in question number 1, almost similar to question number 4. Write down in question number 1 in the study material. It's almost similar to question number 4. So in first revision, second revision, 1 day before examination, even if you have done one of the question number 1 or 4, it will be more than sufficient. Okay, beta, let's start today's lecture with question number 3rd. Question number 3rd. I'm in page number 52. Page number 52, question number 3rd, beta. Okay, Fairam, what is the issue, beta? Please communicate. Controllable and uncontrollable portion. What is your doubt? Please elaborate that one. I will definitely resolve that. Okay, so let's start. Question number 3, beta. Koni Limited, based in Kuala Lumpur, is the Malaysian subsidiary of Japan New York Corporation, headquartered in Tokyo. So our client name is Koni Limited, based on Kuala Lumpur. Okay. Company's capital business, company principal Malaysian business include marketing, sales and after sales service of electronic product and software export product. So company name is Koni Limited. They are dealing with electronic product and software export product. Company set up a new factory in Penang to manufacture and sell integrated circuit Q50XM. उन्होंने अभी एक नया प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किया है जिसका नाम है Q50XM. The first quarter budgeted production and sale were 2,000 units. The budgeted sale price and the standard cost for that new product were as follows. चलिए बेटा, अब आप मुझे ये मिस्ट्री सॉल्व करके दीजिए. यहां पे इन्होंने इसको बजटेड वर्ड यूज किया है, जबकि यहां पे इन्होंने स्टैंडर्ड वर्ड यूज किया है. हाउ दैट्स पॉसिबल? यहां पे बोल रहे द बजटेड सेल प्राइस एंड द स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट वर एज फॉलोज. While in the statement they have not used the word budget, they instead of that they have used the word standard. How that's possible? Please communicate your logic. I am waiting it up. Please communicate how that's possible. Just before the statement they have used the budgeted sale price, while in the statement they are using the word standard sale price. Okay, very good, beta. The budget and standard terminology are interchangeable except in totality. अगर totality में data नहीं दिया है, then budget terminology and standard terminology can be interchangeable. They are not interchangeable when they are in totality. Okay, बेटा, तो यहां पे ध्यान दीजिए. अब आप यहां पर जो भी डिटेल आपको दिया है, that detail is in per unit, not in totality. So the same language can be called as budgeted sale price. The same data can be called as standard sale price. There is no difference whatsoever when we are talking of any denomination other than totality. Okay बेटा, तो यहाँ पे ध्यान दीजिएगा. हम इसको स्टैंडर्ड सेल प्राइस भी बोल सकते हैं, हम इसको बजटेड सेल प्राइस भी बोल सकते हैं. What is this? Standard cost. This is circuit X. Circuit in this particular electronic business is standard quantity of raw material, and this is nothing but the standard price of raw material. Circuit designer, they are nothing but the labor. So fixed hour are the standard labor, and this is the standard rate. What is RM? RM is the home currency of Kuala Lumpur. Okay, beta, doesn't matter. So standard contribution per unit, in other words, it's the budgeted contribution per unit, because budget and standard terminology are interchangeable except in totality. Clear है? चल. So ये जो हमें डिटेल दिया था, this is given for budgeted, or we can call it as standard because the data is given in per unit. Now actual result for the first quarter were as follows. How many budgeted units the budgeted production and sale were? 2,000 units. While the actual sale is also 2,000 units, and now detail is given in 1,000. 158,000. How much material has been consumed? 21,600. So 21,600 will be called as AQ, actual quantity of raw material. 97.2 thousand. It's not per unit. It's 97.2 thousand because the data is given in 1,000. Circuit designer, how many actual labor hours the designer has worked? 11,600 by incurring such cost, and the actual contribution is 26,000 for an output of 2,000. Management accountant made the following observation on the actual result. In total, the performance agreed with budget. जरा चेक कीजिए बेटा, क्या टोटलिटी में जो हमारा एक्चुअल परफॉर्मेंस है क्या वो बजट को मैच करता है? इन टोटल द परफॉर्मेंस एग्रीड विद बजट। चेक करिए बेटा, मैं आपको 30 सेकंड देता हूं, आप सोचिए whether in totality the actual performance matches with the budget. I am giving you 30 to 45 seconds. Yes, the actual performance agreed with the budget. The budgeted output is 2000 unit. The budgeted output is 2000 unit. The actual output is also 2000 unit. Budgeted contribution per unit. The standard contribution per unit can be called as budgeted contribution per unit. Okay. So 2000 into 13. Correct, beta? 2000 into 13. It's 26,000 rupee of contribution you are expecting in the budget period, while the actual contribution is also 26,000. It is. So the first line, that budget and actual performance matches each other, is correct. But what about the detailed content? However, in every aspect other than volume, there were huge difference. Sales were made at what was supposed to be highest feasible price, but we now feel that we could have sold for 82.5 RM, means currency, their home currency, 82.5, with no adverse impact on volume. वापस पढ़िए बेटा. Sales were made at what was supposed to be the highest feasible price, but हमें लगता है कि we can sold out the same product at 82.5 RM with no adverse impact on volume. Circuit X, जो हमारे लिए raw material है, that was anticipated at the time the budget was prepared was RM 2.5 per unit. आप चेक भी कर सकते हैं बेटा. Standard price at the time of preparation of budget is 2.5. However, the general market price relating to efficient purchase of the circuit X during the quarter was RM 4.25 per unit. वो जो आपने स्टैंडर्ड में सोचा था at the time of preparation of budget, you are expecting a price of 2.5 per unit of raw material X, while the market prevailing price is 4.25. Circuit designer, जो हमारे लेबर थे, have the responsibility of designing electronic circuit that make up the electrical system. Circuit designer cost rose dramatically with increased demand for the specialist skill required to produce the product, and the general market rate was 3.125 per hour, while at the time of preparation of budget you are expecting to pay labor to RM2 per hour, while now the general market rate for such type of skilled labor is 3.125. Although companies always paid below the normal market rate wherever possible. In my opinion, the management accountant is saying, it is not necessary to measure the first quarter performance through variance analysis. Further, our operations are fully efficient if the final contribution is equal to the original budget. So the management accountant is saying that you did not have to calculate the variances. Why we have not to calculate the variances? Because our final contribution, that is 26,000, is equal to the original budget contribution of 26,000. Comment on management accountant views. First of all, how you will identify that this question relates to planning and operating variance. Tell me, beta. Tell me the para, tell me the hint, tell me the point where you will be able to identify that, yes, although we have to comment on management accountant view, but that comment should be based on the calculation of planning and operational variance. Because in nowhere in the question the word planning and operational has been used. So in the examination, if this question appear, how you will identify that this question relates to planning and operational variance. Please revert, beta. I'm desperately waiting for your answer. How you will identify that the question relates to planning and operational variance. Revert कीजिए बेटा. I am waiting for your answer. Fast. Okay, for as per last para. Okay, very good, beta. Very good, beta. The only indication available in the question that this question relates to planning and operational variance is the last para. They are giving the revised standard. That is, what should be the revised? The sale price has been revised. The circuit X, that is, the raw material price has been revised. The labor rate has been revised. For the last para indicate that yes, we have to provide the planning and operational variance. So, although the final contribution, we agree that final contribution is 26,000 rupee RM 13 multiplied by budgeted output 2,000. Although the final contribution is 26,000, but we must calculate the variance analysis so that we can know what is the uncontrollable portion during the year and what can be the controllable portion during the year. है ना बेटा? तो चलिए मैं आपको समय देता हूं बेटा. आप मुझे प्लानिंग एंड ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंस फाइंड आउट करके दीजिए रिलेटेड टू रॉ मटेरियल. तो रॉ मटेरियल हमारे पास सर्किट एक्स है. यू आर हैविंग द स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस, यू आर हैविंग द रिवाइज स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस, यू आर हैविंग द एक्चुअल प्राइस. है ना? रॉ मटेरियल में कोई चेंज नहीं आया है. द स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी इज 10 units of circuit X, while the revised standard quantity is also 10 unit of X. The only change in planning and operational variance in this particular question is the price of raw material, that is circuit X. है ना बेटा? चलिए, the 2 to 3 minutes I am giving you. Please compute on your own in a rough page. What would be the planning variance for raw material X? What would be the operational variance for raw material X? है ना बेटा? 2 to 3 minutes आपके पास available है. Okay, beta, can I start? Okay. So we are about to find out the planning and operational variance under raw material circuit X, है ना? तो देखिए जो हमारा रॉ मटेरियल है, द नेम ऑफ द रॉ मटेरियल इज सर्किट एक्स. वी आर फाइंडिंग आउट द प्लानिंग एंड ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंस. तो सबसे पहले हम प्लानिंग वेरिएंस फाइंड आउट करते हैं. In planning variance, what we will compare? We will compare the standard, original standard with the revised standard. There is no detail regarding the actual one, है ना? हमेशा याद रखिएगा बेटा, जब भी आप प्लानिंग वेरिएंस निकालेंगे सबसे पहले आप उसका बेसिक फॉर्मूला लिख दीजिए, that what you will compare in the planning variance, so that the chances of committing the error is almost negligible. Since there is a single type of raw material, we will prepare 3 columns. In case of raw material, every column will be a multiplication of quantity into price. Now, as per rule number 2, the first column will contain the standard quantity, while the remaining column will contain the actual quantity. In place of actual quantity, we are comparing the revised standard. So here we will put the revised standard quantity. In the last column, the price will be the actual price of raw material. But again, we are comparing the revised standard in place of actual, while in the remaining column, the price will be the standard one. है ना? तो सबसे पहले बेटा आप ये चेक कीजिए कि व्हाट इज द स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस जो हमने ओरिजिनल बजट में रखा था. द स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस इज 2.5 RM, while the revised standard price given in the last para is 4.25. It's 4.25. Okay, and standard will always be find out on the basis of actual output. Although in this question actual output and budgeted output are same, but still the concept will remain same, that standard will always be computed based on actual output. So 2000 unit multiplied by 10 units. There is no change in the material consumption regarding the uncontrollable portion. Whatever raw material we have selected at the start of the period, the same raw material has been used during the period. So calculate कीजिए बेटा, 2000 into 10 into 2.5, so it's 50,000 rupee. Here also 50,000, and 20,000 into 4.25, it's 85,000. So the first two columns indicate the usage variance, and usage variance is nil. Can you please focus on beta why the planning usage variance is 0? Why the planning usage variance is 0? The logic is very simple. The material we have decided at the start of the year, the same material we are using throughout the year, there is no change in the type of raw material. Therefore, there is no uncontrollable portion regarding the consumption of raw material variance, that is the usage variance. But whatever we have planned to purchase at what price, the price has been changed, the market price has been changed. Therefore, there will be the planning, that is uncontrollable price variance, and it will be an adverse one. It is 35,000 adverse. But this is an uncontrollable portion. You can't do anything about this variance. Okay, beta? So this is the planning variance. What about the operational variance? Operational variance. Once again, write down the formula. What you will compare in operational variance? We will compare the revised standard with the actual one. There will not be the standard data. There will be the revised standard data that will be compared with the actual data. Again, there will be 3 columns. Column 1, column 2, and column 3. Quantity into price. Quantity into price. Quantity into price. The first column will contain the revised standard quantity, remaining column actual quantity. क्लियर बेटा, ये वाला लॉजिक है, मैं बार बार उसको रिपीट नहीं कर रहा हूं. The revised standard quantity we have just computed is 20,000 multiplied by 4.25. The actual quantity has been given to you in the second statement. It's 21,600 into 4.25. While it's 97,200, it is given in the question. Okay. So what is the amount? 20,000 into 4.25. It's 85,000. 21,600 into 4.25. It's 91,800. So what will be the variance? Controllable portion of variance. Usage variance. The usage variance is 6,800 adverse because the standard is 85,000 while the actual amount that has been incurred is 91,800. So it's 6,800 adverse. And the price variance, that is the controllable portion of price variance, is also adverse. 97,200 minus 91,800, it's 5,400 adverse. So the accountant view that we should not compute the variances since the total budgeted contribution and the actual contribution matches is totally illogical. The management must know what is the uncontrollable portion. 35,000 rupees the uncontrollable portion, while the usage and price related to operational variance can easily be controlled. Okay. Now, beta, again, I am giving you 3 minutes to solve the planning and operational variance related to labor. Labor has been termed as circuit definer, है ना बेटा. चलिए, अब आप अपने लेवल पे एक बार ट्राई कीजिए रिगार्डिंग द सर्किट डिफाइनर प्लानिंग एंड ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंस. Okay, beta. Can we start now? Okay. So, in case of planning variance, what you have done? The standard hour for 2000 multiplied by 6, it's 12,000. I'm talking about the planning variance. Standard hour into standard rate. What is the standard rate? 2. There is no change in the labor composition. So the revised standard hour will also remain same, 12,000. But the labor rate has been 3.125. No, here it will remain same. Multiply by standard rate, that is 2. And the last column is revised standard hour multiply by revised standard rate. It's 12,000 hours multiply by 3.125. क्लियर बेटा? इसी प्रकार से आपने इसको कैलकुलेट किया है. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, अगर आप ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंस निकाल रहे हैं तो देखिए ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंस में आपने इस प्रकार से कैलकुलेशन किया होगा. AH into AR. So it's 12,000 multiplied by 3.125. What are the actual hours? It's 11,600 multiplied by 3.125 and the actual cost has been given 34,800. Okay, beta? Any doubt in this particular calculation? Hope each and every student has correctly computed the labor planning and operational variance. ठीक है, चलिए. कोई डाउट बेटा इसमें particularly? I am waiting. Please revert with yes or no. Any doubt in the labor planning and operational variance calculation? Please revert beta with yes or no. I am waiting. Okay, no doubt. Okay. Now, one more variance is to be computed regarding the sales variance because in the sale price also there has been some change. So, the concept will remain same beta. There will be no change. Sales variance. Since there is a single product, we will prepare 3 columns. In sales, we compare the budget with the actual. In traditional method, we compare the budget detail with the actual detail, while there will be called as revised budgeted detail. I have already told you that in case of fixed cost and in case of sales variance, they are dependent on time. So the actual will be compared with the budget. So there will not be the terminology, the standard terminology. There will be the terminology that will be used with the budgeted one. Okay, beta. So in case of sale, column will be multiplied by output into sale price. Output into sale price. Clear hai? The first column will contain the budgeted output, while the remaining column will contain the actual output. But since we are computing the planning variance, therefore, instead of actual detail, we will use the revised budgeted output. Revised budgeted sale price, and this one be the budgeted sale price. So the budgeted output is 2,000. There is no change in the budgeted output denomination. It will remain same. The budgeted sale price given in the question is 50 RM, while the revised budgeted sale price given in the statement is 82.5. ठीक है बेटा? So जो volume variance है, that will remain 0 because there is no change in the budgeted detail. While regarding the price variance, there will be a favorable or adverse price variance. जल्दी से मुझे बताइए, फेवरेबल वेरिएंस आएगा या एडवर्स प्राइस वेरिएंस आएगा? Whether there is a favorable variance or adverse price variance. There will be a favorable price variance. The logic is very simple, beta. Since the budgeted sale price is 50 rupee, while the revised budgeted sale price is 82.5. अगर sale price बढ़ती है, so there will be chances of increasing our profit. And increase in profit will always be a favorable variance. So it is the planning variance. इसी को अगर हम operational variance में convert करेंगे, again we will prepare 3 columns. In case of sale, every column will be a multiplication of output multiplied by sale price. output multiply by fail price. In operational variance, we will compare the revised budgeted detail with the actual one. So in the first column, the output will be the revised budgeted output, while in the remaining column, the output will be the actual output. In the last column, the fail price will be the actual, while in the remaining column, the fail price will be the revised budgeted fail price. For the output की detail सबसे पहले हम लिख देते हैं बेटा. Actual output is coincidentally 2000 की है वो हमारा 82.5. It is given directly to you. So just write down the direct detail. It's 1,58,000. We can now easily find out the controllable portion related to volume, the controllable portion related to price. Okay, beta? So a very good question in which all the variances we have to calculate, whether it's material, whether it's labor, whether it's sale. So the management accountant view that total contribution matches with the actual contribution. Therefore, we will not calculate the variances. It's totally illogical. We must compute, we must bifurcate the variances into planning and operational and try to devise mechanism to control the controllable portion of the variances. Clear है बेटा? चलिए अब बढ़ते अपन आगे. Now, the very first topic has been completed by us, that is the planning and operational variance. Now we will move on to the next topic, variance analysis in ABC environment. Please give the heading beta, variance analysis in ABC environment. Variance analysis in ABC environment. First of all, let's revise chapter number 9, strategic analysis of operating income. Thereafter, we will move to the variance analysis. What we have studied related to ABC, there are two techniques for recovery of overhead. है ना? मैं बहुत स्लो चलूंगा बेटा ना, ताकि आप अपने लेवल पर उसको रिकॉल कर पाए, है ना? So therefore, I will take multiple pause while communicating to you, so that you can recall on your own what will be the point I want to say next, है ना? So there are two methods related to recovery of overhead. Recall beta those two method name. What are the names of those two methods? The first method name is traditional method for recovery of overhead. The other method is modern method, that is ABC method. In traditional method, we will recover overhead based on the bifurcation variable overhead and fixed overhead. Variable overhead and fixed overhead. And overhead will be recovered strictly on the basis of those 7 bases. उन 7 bases के आधार पर ही हमें overhead को recover करना होता है under traditional method. So overhead will be bifurcated into variable overhead and fixed overhead. While under ABC environment, we will not bifurcate the overhead into variable overhead or fixed overhead. In case of that, overhead will be bifurcated in ABC environment. कैसे bifurcate करते हैं जरा recall कीजिए बेटा. How overhead will be bifurcated in ABC environment? Overhead will be bifurcated in ABC environment through different activities. Activities के आधार पर हम अपने overhead को bifurcate करते हैं. We will not bifurcate like variable overhead and fixed overhead. Clear है? फिर ABC की कुछ टर्मोलॉजीज होती थी. The first terminology is activity. The second terminology is activity cost driver. जरा मीनिंग रिकॉल करने की कोशिश कीजिए बेटा. What do you mean by activity cost driver? The simplest meaning is logical base of a particular activity. If setup is your activity, then number of setup are your cost driver. That is the logical base. If machining is the activity, then machine hour are the logical base. If receiving is the activity, store receiving is the activity, then number of purchase requisition, जितने बार आपने purchase requisition send किया होगा, the more time you will receive the raw material. So activity cost driver is the logical base of a particular activity. और last time फिर एक working note यहाँ पे बनाते थे. उसका फाइनल रिजल्ट आता था एबीसी रिकवरी रेट, किस रेट से हमें अपने ओवरहेड को रिकवर करना चाहिए, है ना. सो इन ट्रेडिशनल एनवायरमेंट we will bifurcate the overhead into variable and fixed, while in ABC environment we will bifurcate according to different activity, है ना. So I'm giving you some time beta to read out on your own the content given in the study material related to variance analysis in ABC environment. Once you have gone through that study material content, then we will understand that further and write down some important points related to variance analysis in ABC environment. Please open with a page number 8. There are just 3 paras given related to variance analysis in ABC environment, but in this study material itself, there are more than 4 to 5 questions related to this particular concept, variance analysis in ABC environment. In the past examination, this concept has been asked twice, and that too for minimum 10 marks. So there are few topics at final level, but each and every topic is very, very important. We have just completed one of the most important topic, that is planning and operational variance. Now, second topic, variance analysis in ABC environment. If the organization has already implemented activity-based costing, then how variance will be computed related to overhead. So I'm giving you bit of 3 to 4 minutes to read out this 3 para in and interpret the same bit of how variance will be computed if the environment is activity-based costing. Clear है? तो चलिए मैं आपको 3 to 4 minutes दे रहा हूं to try on your own. Please read it out very carefully, beta. Na? If you do a plain reading now, you will not understand the concept. You have to make a interpretation reading of the same. ओके बेटा, लेट्स स्टार्ट द वेरिएंस एनालिसिस इन एबीसी एनवायरनमेंट। लिखिए बेटा, सबसे पहला पॉइंट लिखिए। There are two methods. There are two methods for recovery of overhead. There are two methods for recovery of overhead. अब नेक्स्ट लाइन में लिखिएगा वन बाय वन। ट्रेडिशनल मेथड एंड नेक्स्ट लाइन में लिखिए एक्टिविटी बेस्ड कॉस्टिंग मेथड। ट्रेडिशनल मेथड एंड एक्टिविटी बेस्ड कॉस्टिंग मेथड। Write down the second point, beta. Second point, direct material and direct labor variances. Direct material and direct labor variances. Computation will remain same. Direct material and direct labor variances computation will remain same in both the method. क्यों सेम रहेंगे? Because both the method deal with the overhead, not with the direct cost. So जो direct cost हमारी direct material and direct labor variances will remain same computation in both the method. Third point लिखे बेटा। थर्ड पॉइंट लिखिए। In traditional method, comma, the overhead variances will be bifurcated. The overhead variances will be bifurcated into variable overhead variances, and fixed overhead variances. Into variable overhead variances and fixed overhead variances. Next point लिखे। While in ABC environment, the overhead variances will be computed. This is very, very important, brother. The overhead variances will be computed. Inverted comma में लिखिए activity wise. Inverted comma close, activity wise. इसी पॉइंट में नेक्स्ट लाइन में लिखे बेटा, for every activity, comma, we will compute separate variance. For every activity, we will compute separate variance in the form of separate variances in the form of efficiency variance and expenditure variance. In the form of efficiency variance and expenditure variance. What I mean to say, बेटा, अगर हमारे पास 4 एक्टिविटी है, चारों एक्टिविटी के लिए हमें अलग अलग वेरिएंस फाइंड आउट करना है, एंड फॉर ईच एक्टिविटी वी विल फाइंड आउट 2 वेरिएंस, एक्सपेंडिचर वेरिएंस एंड द एफिशिएंसी वेरिएंस। क्लियर है बेटा? अब नेक्स्ट में लिखे कंप्यूटेशन पार्ट, कैसे इसको हमें कंप्यूट करना है वेरिएंस एनालिसिस इन एबीसी एनवायरनमेंट। देखिए बेटा, टोटल 3 कॉलम्स बनेंगे यहां पे, ठीक है? क्वांटिटी मल्टीप्लाई बाय रिकवरी रेट, because in overhead we use the terminology recovery rate, quantity multiply by recovery rate, quantity multiply by recovery rate, है ना. आरआर हमने क्यों यूज किया, क्योंकि बिकॉज इन ओवरहेड वी यूज द टर्मिनोलॉजी रिकवरी रेट, है ना. अब द सेम रूल, इन द फर्स्ट कॉलम द क्वांटिटी विल बी द स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी, in the remaining column the quantity will be the actual quantity, in the last column the quantity will be the actual recovery rate, while in the remaining column the quantity will be the standard recovery rate. तो देखिए कॉलम डिफाइन करने में तो कोई इश्यू नहीं है, हमने मल्टीप्लाई किया क्वांटिटी इनटू रिकवरी रेट, और फिर वही जो हमारा सेकंड रूल था दैट रूल विल बी अप्लाइड. नाउ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, जब भी हम क्वांटिटी की बात कर रहे हैं, चाहे हम स्टैंडर्ड रिकवरी रेट की बात कर रहे हैं, चाहे हम एक्चुअल रिकवरी रेट की बात कर रहे हैं, ऑल दिस विल बी रिलेटेड विथ कॉस्ट ड्राइवर. कॉस्ट ड्राइवर, है ना. स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी ऑफ कॉस्ट ड्राइवर, स्टैंडर्ड रिकवरी रेट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर कॉस्ट ड्राइवर एक्टिविटी, एक्चुअल रिकवरी रेट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर कॉस्ट ड्राइवर एक्टिविटी. जो भी हम बात करेंगे सब हम कॉस्ट ड्राइवर से रिलेटेड बात कर रहे हैं, दैट इज लॉजिकल बेस से रिलेटेड हम बात कर रहे हैं. यहां पे हमें स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी किसकी चाहिए, लॉजिकल बेस की. हमें स्टैंडर्ड रिकवरी रेट किसका चाहिए, लॉजिकल बेस का. हमारा जो एक्टिविटी था उसका हमारा रिकवरी रेट क्या था. हमें एक्चुअल क्वांटिटी रिक्वायर्ड है लॉजिकल बेस की, कि हाउ मच cost driver quantity has been consumed during the period, what is the actual recovery rate of that particular activity cost driver. तो जितनी भी चीजों की हम बात कर रहे हैं that all be related with cost driver. लिखिए बेटा आप ये पॉइंट, इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट करके हेडिंग दीजिए पहले आप. SQ and AQ are related with, SQ and AQ are related with quantity of cost driver, are related with quantity of cost driver. While FRR, that is standard recovery rate, while FRR and ARR, while FRR and ARR, if related to the recovery rate, is related to the recovery rate of that particular activity cost driver, is the recovery rate of that particular activity cost driver. अब आपको इतना छोटा सा पॉइंट याद रखना है बेटा कि जब भी हम ये कैलकुलेशन करेंगे वी विल कंसिडर ओनली एंड ओनली द कॉस्ट ड्राइवर. क्वांटिटी हमें कॉस्ट ड्राइवर की चाहिए, रेट भी हमें कॉस्ट ड्राइवर की उस एक्टिविटी का चाहिए, दैट्स ऑल. तो हमने क्या क्या किया बेटा, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैव फिल अप द डिटेल quantity into recovery rate, then we have fill up the detail, same detail, first column standard quantity, next column actual quantity, last column actual, remaining column standard. The same rule will be applicable. The only point you have to keep in mind that all the detail are related to cost driver, that is the logical base. ठीक है बेटा, एक क्वेश्चन करते हैं उससे आपको कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा हाउ टू डील विद द वेरिएंस एनालिसिस इन एबीसी एनवायरमेंट. जस्ट नेक्स्ट पेज में देखिए बेटा, एक क्वेश्चन आपको दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे. इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर 2 मिला आपको, इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर 2. इससे आपको इनफ कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा टू डील विद वेरिएंस एनालिसिस इन एबीसी एनवायरमेंट. एनएफसी इज अ मल्टीपल प्रोडक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरर. कंपनी प्रोड्यूसेस द यूनिट एंड ऑल ओवरहेड आर एसोसिएटेड विद डिलीवरी ऑफ यूनिट्स टू इट्स कस्टमर. सो delivery is the activity of this particular question, and delivery of units is the cost driver. The budgeted overhead are 4,000, the actual overhead are 3,900. Output is 2,000 unit, while the actual output is 2,100 unit. Customer deliveries, 20 customer deliveries are expected for an output of 2,000, while 19 customer deliveries has been done for an output of 2100. एफिशिएंसी वेरिएंस और एक्सपेंडिचर वेरिएंस हमें आप बताइए बाय अडॉप्टिंग द एबीसी अप्रोच। तो बहुत बहुत स्लो चलेंगे बेटा, बहुत अच्छे से समझिएगा कि हाउ दिस कैन बी कंप्यूटेड। तो लिखिए बेटा, साथ में चलिए भी आप। एक्टिविटी का नाम लिखिए पहले तो, व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द एक्टिविटी? एक्टिविटी नेम इज डिलीवरी। while activity cost driver, that is logical base, activity cost driver is customers delivery। कोई डाउट बेटा यहाँ पे? नहीं। एक बेसिक कैलकुलेशन अपन कर लेते हैं, बजटेड रिकवरी रेट, बजटेड या एबीसी रिकवरी, बजटेड रिकवरी रेट ऑफ एक्टिविटी। बजटेड ओवरहेड है हमारा 4000। हाउ मेनी बजटेड डिलीवरीज आर एक्सपेक्टेड? 20 budgeted deliveries are expected. So 4000 divided by 20, it's rupee 200 per customer delivery. अब आप मुझे बताइए, हमने इसको बोला है BRR, बजटेड रिकवरी रेट ऑफ एक्टिविटी। क्या इसी 200 रुपी को वी कैन कॉल्ड इट एज स्टैंडर्ड रिकवरी रेट, वेदर इट्स पॉसिबल और नॉट? जो 200 रुपी हमने पर कस्टमर डिलीवरी निकाला है, whether we can call it at standard recovery rate? Communicate beta, please communicate to me whether we can call it as standard recovery rate, yes or no? ₹200 जो बजटेड रिकवरी रेट है, whether we can call it as standard recovery rate, yes or no, along with the logic? Yes, we can call it as standard recovery rate because except in totality, the budget detail and the standard detail are interchangeable. I am repeating once again beta, except in totality, the budgeted detail and the standard detail are interchangeable since it is expressed on per unit of cost driver, therefore it can be called as standard recovery rate. तो यही हमारे लिए standard recovery rate हो जाएगा। लिख दीजिए बेटा, it can be also called as standard recovery rate। कोई डाउट नहीं। नेक्स्ट पॉइंट बेटा, बजटेड क्वांटिटी ऑफ कस्टमर डिलीवरी। ये 20 दिया हुआ है, मिला आपको? बजटेड क्वांटिटी ऑफ कस्टमर डिलीवरी कितना दिया है? 20 दिया है। Whether this 20 can be called as standard quantity of customer delivery? हमें दिया है बजटेड क्वांटिटी ऑफ कस्टमर डिलीवरी 20, whether this can be called as standard quantity of customer delivery? Please take your time beta and then answer to me with yes or no. Budgeted quantity of customer delivery is 20. Can we call it as standard quantity of customer delivery? दोनों एक ही बात है और whether both are different in this concept. थोड़ा फास्ट रिवर्ट कीजिए बेटा विथ यस और नो, whether budgeted quantity of customer delivery that is given 20 in number can be called as standard. Very good Naveen Prakash, very good Priya beta. No, we cannot call it as standard quantity because standard and budget are interchangeable except in totality. Since 20 is the total number, therefore we cannot say that 20 is the budgeted quantity, 20 is the standard quantity, है ना? लिखिए बेटा, इसी में नीचे लिखिए आप. Since budget and standard cannot be interchanged in totality, since budget and standard cannot be interchanged in totality, therefore, this 20 quantity, therefore, this 20 quantity can't be the standard quantity. Therefore, this 20 quantity cannot be the standard quantity. Full stop. Next line में लिखे, standard quantity will be computed. Standard quantity will be computed based on actual output. Based on actual output. So the standard quantity of customer delivery will be, चलिए आप ही बताइए मुझे बेटा, मैं आपको 1 मिनट देता हूं. बहुत ही सिंपल सा लॉजिक है. इतनी क्वांटिटी इतने आउटपुट के लिए, तो एक्चुअल आउटपुट के लिए हमें कितनी क्वांटिटी ऑफ कस्टमर डिलीवरी करनी चाहिए? इट इज स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी ऑफ कस्टमर डिलीवरी बेस्ड ऑन एक्चुअल आउटपुट, है ना? जल्दी से मुझे बताइए बेटा. 1 मिनट आई एम गिविंग टू यू. हाउ the standard quantity of customer delivery will be find out. It's damn simple, no doubt about that. इसके लिए इतना तो इसके लिए कितना. Just you have to apply this particular logic बेटा. Okay, very good beta. Nisha Manikaran, the answer is correct. Fine Ram, the answer is correct beta. It's 21. Very simple beta. Very good. So 20 quantities are required for 2000 output. So the actual output is 2100. Therefore, 21 customer deliveries are required for the actual output of 2100 units. Clear beta? Chalo. अब देखिए, now we can easily solve the variance. There will be 3 columns. Quantity multiplied by recovery rate. Quantity multiplied by recovery rate. Quantity multiplied by recovery rate. So, the first column will be having the standard quantity, while the remaining column will be having the actual quantity. The last column will be having the actual recovery rate, while the remaining column will have the standard recovery rate. है ना? हमें लास्ट कॉलम का टोटल दिया हुआ है. It's 3900 rupees. Okay, just we have understand the concept. Standard recovery rate and budgeted recovery rate are same because they are not expressed in totality. So we have already computed the budgeted recovery rate, that is the standard recovery rate 200. How many actual deliveries are being made to the customer? 19. While what is the standard number of deliveries? 21. So calculate कीजिए बेटा, 21 into 200, 4200 rupees, and it's 3800 rupees. So in column number second and third, the difference is due to the recovery rate. So therefore we will express this is due by expenditure variance. So expenditure variance हमारा 100 adverse है. While column number 1 and column number 2 indicate the efficiency of that particular activity, so the favorable variance will be there, that is 400 favorable. तो बहुत सिंपल सा कंसेप्ट है, जस्ट यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड दैट all the detail in ABC analysis will be related to the cost driver. बस इतना सा पॉइंट आपने याद रखा, ये स्टेटमेंट बनाना तो बहुत ही सिंपल है. Then you will do wonders बेटा in this particular chapter. And standard will always be computed based on actual output, है ना. एक्चुअल आउटपुट के आधार पर अगर बजट बनाया जाता तो वही बजट को we called it as standard. Any doubt, beta? Hope everything is clear to you. There is no doubt. Okay. Now we will start more question on this particular concept. Variance analysis in ABC environment. The question are given in the test your understanding level. No more question are given here. So we will move forward to the text your understanding level. Okay, beta, please open page number 55, question number 7. Page number 55, question number 7. Just we will make a combined reading of this question number 7. Then sufficient time will be provided to you to solve this question on your own. The first requirement part contains the planning and operational variance. The second requirement part relates to ABC analysis. है ना? So जो दोनों concept है इस particular chapter के, that will be covered in this particular question. Let's start it. JPY Limited produces a single product. It has recently automated part of its manufacturing plant and adopted total quality management and just-in-time manufacturing system. No inventories are held for material as well as for finished good because of the JIT system. The company currently uses standard absorption costing system. Following are related to fourth quarter of 2021. है ना? चलिए बेटा, अब आप मुझे बताइए इन तीनों में से डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, डायरेक्ट लेबर एंड फिक्स प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड, whether this detail are comparable. डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, डायरेक्ट लेबर और फिक्स प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड में से कौन सी डिटेल आपस में कंपेरेबल है? इन केस ऑफ डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, डायरेक्ट लेबर एंड फिक्स प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड, which detail are comparable and which are not comparable? So beta, direct material and direct labor detail are not comparable because the budgeted output and actual output is different. In case of material, in case of labor, we will compare the actual detail with the standard one, and standard will be prepared based on actual output. While in case of fixed overhead, in case of sale, the variance will be compared with actual with the budgeted one. Therefore, 3,20,000 can be compared with 3,60,000. Clear, beta? Production overhead are recovered on the basis of direct labor hours. Okay. The CEO intends to introduce activity-based costing system along with TQM and JIT for better cost management. The organization has already implemented TQM and JIT. Now they want to introduce activity-based costing system. A committee has been formed for this purpose. The committee has further analyzed and classified the production overhead of fourth quarter as follows. ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम में हम वेरिएबल और फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड में बाइफरकेट करते हैं, जबकि एबीसी सिस्टम में हम एक्टिविटी वाइज बाइफरकेट करते हैं. तो देखिए इसी 3,20,000 को इन दोनों का एक बार टोटल लगाइए बेटा. 96,000 प्लस 2,24,000 टोटल लगाइए, कितना रहा है? 3,20,000. इसका भी टोटल लगाइए, 1,24,000 प्लस 2,36,000. द टोटल विल बी 3,50,000. बस उसी टोटल को इन्होंने एक्टिविटी वाइज बाइफरकेट कर दिया. In ABC environment, we will not be having variable and fixed overhead. Instead of that, we are having different activities इन एबीसी। तो मटेरियल हैंडलिंग का बजट है 96,000, 124 सेटअप है इतना इतना। मटेरियल हैंडलिंग के लिए ऑर्डर एग्जीक्यूटेड हमारा कॉस्ट ड्राइवर है और सेटअप के लिए प्रोडक्शन रन हमारा कॉस्ट ड्राइवर है, उसका क्वांटम आपको दिया हुआ है। रिवीजन ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड रिलेटिंग टू 4 क्वार्टर वर मेड एज अंडर। मटेरियल कंटेंट हमने ओरिजिनली सोचा था 2 kg लगेगा, while the revised standard is 2.25 kg। मटेरियल की प्राइस हमने सोचा था 30 रुपी पर केजी, while the revised price is 31। लेबर भी हमने सोचा था 15 मिनट्स लगेंगे, जबकि रिवाइज टाइम है 12 मिनट्स का। लेबर के रेट में कोई चेंज नहीं है, सिर्फ लेबर के टाइम में चेंज है। कैलकुलेट प्लानिंग एंड ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंस रिलेटेड टू मटेरियल रिलेटेड टू लेबर। तो चलिए बेटा, सबसे पहले स्टेप बाय स्टेप चलते हैं अपन। मटेरियल से रिलेटेड आप मुझे प्लानिंग और ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंस फाइंड आउट करके दीजिए। मटेरियल से रिलेटेड हम इसको रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट को कई पार्ट में तोड़ेंगे बेटा। द फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट इज फाइंड आउट प्लानिंग एंड ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंस रिलेटेड टू मटेरियल। आई एम गिविंग यू मैक्सिमम ऑफ 3 मिनट और कोशिश कीजिएगा बेटा अब आपसे कोई भी गलती कमिट ना हो, बिकॉज यू डन इनफ क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू प्लानिंग एंड ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंस, है ना। तो जल्दी से 3 मिनट में मुझे आप प्लानिंग वेरिएंस का अमाउंट बताइए रिलेटेड टू मटेरियल। देखते हैं कौन सा स्टूडेंट सबसे पहले मुझे आंसर देता है। 1 more minute is available with you, beta. Try to complete the question within that time itself. Okay, Nisha have answered, Priya have answered. What about other student, beta? चलिए बेटा स्टार्ट करूं तो देखिए सबसे पहले स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस आपको सबसे पहला स्टेटमेंट आप चेक कीजिए वहां पे दिया हुआ है द स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस इज 30 रुपी पर केजी okay while the revised standard price is given in the last statement that now the revised standard price is 31 रुपी तो ये 31 रुपी हमारा रिवाइज स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस है ठीक है while the actual price is also given to you in the first statement it's 31.2 rupees तो प्राइस से रिलेटेड मैटर कंप्लीट always standard quantity will be computed based on actual output ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड है बेटा हमेशा ध्यान रखिएगा तो 1,10,000 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 2 kg दिया हुआ आपको लास्ट स्टेटमेंट आप चेक कीजिए material content per unit is 2 kg and standard will always be computed based on actual output while the revised will be 2.25 so 1,10,000 into 2.25 1,10,000 into 2.25 actual material consumption has been given in the first statement 2,50,000 rupees hope beta each and every student has correctly computed all the columnar detail मैं मान के चलो बेटा अब इसी का टोटल लगा के यू कैन इजीली फाइंड आउट दी वेरिएंसेस क्लियर है बेटा तो कोई डाउट इस पर्टिकुलर में रॉ मटेरियल में चलिए अब नेक्स्ट मैं आपको अगेन 3 मिनट देता हूं टू फाइंड आउट द प्लानिंग एंड ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंस अंडर लेबर है ना लेबर के लिए मुझे आप प्लानिंग और ऑपरेशनल वेरिएंस फाइंड आउट करके दीजिए नेक्स्ट 3 मिनट अवेलेबल टू यू फॉर लेबर वेरिएंसेस ऑन वन थिंग बेटा लेबर वेरिएंसेस में जो रेट है दैट विल रिमेन सेम स्टैंडर्ड रेट एंड रिवाइज स्टैंडर्ड रेट बिकॉज देयर इज नो चेंज इन द स्टैंडर्ड रेट एंड वन सजेशन convert the minute into hour like 15 minute is equivalent to 0.25 hour 0.25 while 12 minute is equivalent to 0.2 hour that will make your calculation much simpler okay so चलिए मैं आपको 3 मिनट्स देता हूं बेटा अब आप मुझे लेबर के वेरिएंस से फाइंड आउट करके बताइए Last 1 minute beta, please complete the same. Okay beta, Priya has answered. Other student, please complete the same within the time. चलिए बेटा स्टार्ट करूं मैं. देखिए तो सबसे पहले वी विल फिल अप द रेट डिटेल. द स्टैंडर्ड रेट ऑफ लेबर पर आवर is given in the very first statement. It's 300 rupee. There is no change in the revised standard rate. And also the actual rate given in the question related to the actual rate of labor is also 300 rupee. Actual hours are given 23,000. We will write like this, 23,000. Now the most important point, standard hour and the revised standard hour. Standard will always be computed based on actual output. What is the actual output? It's 1,10,000. Check the last statement beta. What is the original standard? It's 15 minutes. 15 minutes when converted into hour, it will be 0.25. While the revised standard is 12 minutes. 12 minutes converted into hour is 0.2. So 1,10,000 into 0.2. 1,10,000 into 0.2. 1,10,000 into 0.2. I guarantee you बेटा अगर आप इस स्टेटमेंट के थ्रू वेरिएंस निकालेंगे ना, दिस चैप्टर विल बी वेरी वेरी कंफर्टेबल फॉर यू, बिकॉज जस्ट you don't have to mug up the formulas, just you have to apply your logic. There will be 3 column 4 column, and planning and operational में बस किन दो चीजों को हमें कंपेयर करना है. You just have to remember that one. Hope the life of standard costing is now much easier for you beta through this statement approach. Okay, and I already told you the presentation way that you have to write in next line that planning usage variance is equal to column number 1 minus column number 2. Like this, you have to present the main answer. These are the working note. These are not the main answer. These are the working note. Okay बेटा, क्लियर है? चल, कोई डाउट इसमें आपको पर्टिकुलर? नहीं. अब अपन बढ़ते इसी के सेकेंड रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट में. द सेकेंड रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट इज रिलेटेड विथ एक्टिविटी बेस्ड कॉस्टिंग. क्या बोल रहे हैं हमें? पढ़िए एक बार इसको. कैलकुलेट ओवरहेड एक्सपेंडिचर एंड एफिशिएंसी वेरिएंस using activity based costing principle. So what I will do beta, there are two activities, material handling and setup. एक activity का we will do combinedly, and then the next activity variance will be computed by you. Okay, so we will do combinedly the variance related to material handling, है ना. अब हम जा रहे हैं एबीसी सिस्टम में हमें ओवरहेड के वेरिएंसेस कैसे कंप्यूट करना है. सो एबीसी सिस्टम, I am doing the material handling activity. And once we complete the material handling activity, then the stage will be used beta. You have to do on your own the expenditure and the efficiency variance related to the setup activity. Okay, so there will be 3 columns. Okay, every column will be a multiplication of quantity into recovery rate, quantity into recovery rate, quantity into recovery rate. The first column will have the standard quantity, while the remaining column will be having the actual quantity. the last column will be having the actual recovery rate while the remaining will be the standard recovery rate. क्लियर है? हमें लास्ट कॉलम रेडीमेड दिया हुआ है, आप चेक करिए सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट. इट्स 1,24,000 रुपी, ये हमें दिया हुआ है. हमें एक्चुअल क्वांटिटी ऑफ ऑर्डर एग्जीक्यूटेड भी दिया हुआ है 8,500. ओके बेटा, नाउ टेल मी what if the standard quantity of order executed. सिमिलर तरीका है, वही तरीका जो आपने जब इसके पहले वाले क्वेश्चन में अप्लाई किया था रिगार्डिंग द कस्टमर डिलीवरी. 8,000 इज नॉट द स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी ऑफ ऑर्डर एग्जीक्यूटेड बिकॉज स्टैंडर्ड किसके आधार पे निकलता है? एक्चुअल आउटपुट के आधार पे. 8,000 इज फॉर 1 लाख यूनिट्स while the actual output is 1,10,000. सो आप मुझे बताइए 1,10,000 के लिए कितने ऑर्डर एग्जीक्यूट होने चाहिए थे? व्हाट इज द स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी? आई एम गिविंग द टाइम जस्ट टू make you comfortable that you can do the calculation on your own. The most important calculation, that is the standard quantity. It's very simple beta. 8,000 order executed are required for an output of 1 lakh unit, while the actual output is 1,10,000. So how many order execution is required for an output of 1,10,000? It's 8,800. Clear है? Now the standard recovery rate, it's very simple बेटा. ये देखिए, सबसे पहले आप BRR निकालेंगे ना. 96,000 रुपी का हमारा बजटेड कॉस्ट पुल है, while the budgeted quantity of cost driver is 8,000. 96,000 divided by 8,000. 96,000 divided by 8,000. It's 12 rupee. First of all, 12 rupees budgeted recovery rate. Then, since budget and standard are interchangeable except in totality, the same 12 rupee can be called as standard recovery rate. तो देखिए तरीका बहुत सिंपल है. Just you have to follow the methodology beta, and definitely this chapter will provide you complete marks. No doubt about that. So it's 1,05,600. It's 8,500 into 12. It's 1,02,000. क्लियर है बेटा? ये हो गया मटेरियल हैंडलिंग से रिलेटेड. दिस विल बी द एफिशिएंसी वेरिएंस एंड दिस विल बी द एक्सपेंडिचर वैल्यू. क्लियर है? चलिए अब जल्दी से मुझे आप इसी क्वेश्चन में जो नेक्स्ट एक्टिविटी है सेटअप है, अगेन 3 to 4 मिनट्स आर अवेलेबल विद यू बेटा ना. प्लीज ट्राई टू डू ऑन योर ओन एंड हैव इनफ कॉन्फिडेंस दैट यू विल डू ऑल द कैलकुलेशन परफेक्टली. ठीक है बेटा, चलिए. ओके प्रिया, नवीन कुमार, साईराम, ओके बेटा. So please check your answer beta regarding the setup activity. Again, there will be 3 columns. In every column, we will be having a multiplication of quantity into recovery rate. Quantity into recovery rate. Standard quantity, actual quantity, actual quantity. Okay, so first of all, 2000 production run are required for 1 lakh unit. So for an output of 1,10,000, how many production run are required? It's 2,200 production run are required. Hope all the student has correctly computed this data beta 2,200. Actual quantity of production run is being given to you. It's 2,100. And the actual cost is given 2,36,000. We cannot directly compute the standard recovery rate. We first have to compute the budgeted recovery rate. So 2,24,000 rupee is the budgeted cost pool for the quantity of cost driver of 2,000. So 2,24,000 divided by 2,000, it will provide you the answer of 112. It's the budgeted recovery rate per production run. Since budget and standard are interchangeable except in totality, the same 112 can now be called as standard recovery rate. है ना? बताइए बेटा आंसर कितना आ रहा है आपका? It's 2,46,400. It's 2,35,200. So the efficiency variance is adverse. Efficiency variance is 11,200 adverse, while the expenditure variance is adverse by 800 rupees. So hope beta you are very much comfortable with this technique of statement approach. इससे वेरियांस आपको फाइंड आउट करना बहुत बहुत आसान हो जाता है ना? चलिए. So we will now take a break of 10 to 12 minutes. After that, we will do more questions on activity-based costing advice. Okay, बेटा? चलिए. ब्रेक लीजिए आप 10 से 12 मिनट का. We will meet sharp at 8:58. Take a break of 12 minutes. Okay, beta, welcome back. So let's start another question on variance analysis in ABC environment to provide you more confidence on that particular topic. What Institute has done in this particular chapter, beta, they have provided n number of questions related to each and every concept. So the student can practice multiple questions and thereafter they can gain the enough confidence to deal with the topic standard costing. Okay, चलिए अब अपन आते हैं बेटा. Now let's start question number 6. Please open page number 54. It's available in page number 54. Question number 6. Page number 54. Question number 6. Can we start it? Okay, let's start the question. WG Limited uses activity-based costing to allocate variable manufacturing overhead costs to products. So company name is WDG Limited. They are presently using activity-based costing to allocate overhead to product. The company identified 3 activities with the following information for last quarter. We have already written that beta. For each and every activity, separate variances is to be computed. There are 3 activities, so 3 variance will be computed related to expenditure variance. 3 variance will be computed related to efficiency variance. So activity name is indirect material, product testing, and energy. What is standard rate in term of activity? What is standard rate? It is nothing but standard recovery rate, which can also be called as budgeted recovery rate. So it's 20 per kilogram. It's 3 per test minute. It's 0.2 per minute of machine time. So standard recovery rate is ready-made given to you. Standard quantity per unit produced. How much material is required? 0.5 kg, 10 minutes and 4 minutes. Actual cost has been given, while the actual quantity of cost driver. Remember this word beta. Whenever you are computing variances under activity-based environment, it's the quantity of cost driver. Quantity is cost driver is kilogram. So 48 kilogram of cost driver has been consumed. Here in second activity, quantity cost driver is test minute. So 7,40,000 test minute has been performed. Likewise for energy also. The company produced, this is the actual output, 80,000 unit in the last quarter, and based on actual output, we will compute the standard quantity of cost driver. Once more, beta, once more. What I have said, based on actual output, that is 80,000, we will compute the standard quantity of cost driver under ABC environment. Company policy is to investigate all the variances above 5% of the flexible budget amount for each activity. What do you mean by flexible budget? Budget based on actual output. Write down beta this terminology in your copy. Flexible budget means standard. Flexible budget means standard. That is budget prepared on the basis of actual output. Flexible budget means standard. That is budget prepared on the basis of actual output. Budget prepared on the basis of actual output. Clear hai? Chalo. What is the requirement part? Calculate expenditure variance and efficiency variance for each of the activities using ABC. Clearly indicate each variance as favorable or unfavorable, that is adverse. Okay. So what we will do in this particular question, beta, we will prepare a statement that will cover all the 3 variants. That will be much easier for us. Okay. So let's start the question. Give the heading, computation of expenditure variance, computation of expenditure variance and efficiency variance activity wise. Computation of expenditure variance and efficiency variance activity wise. In this question, I will show you how to present the main answer. Okay, this is activity, एंड दिस इज वेरियांस का, और हमें फेवरेबल और एडवर्स भी बताना है सेपरेटली, है ना। तो उसके लिए हम एक कॉलम बना लेते हैं, फेवरेबल, एडवर्स, वेरियांस इन रूट. So the very first variance is expenditure variance. We have to compute the expenditure variance activity wise. So the first activity is indirect material. Indirect material. The second activity is product testing. The third activity is energy. Okay. And next we have to find out the efficiency variance related to all these three activity. Efficiency variance. Indirect material. Product testing. And the last one will be the energy. So if you can remember, we will compare column number 1 with column number 2 to find out the efficiency variance, while we will compare column number 2 with column number 3 to find out the expenditure variance. This is the main statement format. Likewise, you have to present the main answer, है ना. Now we are working with the working note. अब हम यहाँ पे working note बनाएंगे. So there will be 3 columns for every activity: quantity into recovery rate, quantity into recovery rate, quantity into recovery rate. Okay, beta. The first column will be having the standard quantity, while the remaining will be having the actual quantity, actual recovery rate, and standard recovery rate. The difference between first two columns is known as efficiency variance, while the difference of the last two columns is known as expenditure variance. So this is we called as efficiency variance, and this is the expenditure variance. Now you can save the time by this format, beta. अब आपको यही format हर तीनों के लिए ना बना के, what you can do is, सबसे पहले आप इनडायरेक्ट मटेरियल की बात कर लीजिए. ठीक है. Standard will always be computed based on actual output. What is the actual output? It's 80,000 kgs. और स्टेटमेंट देखिए, स्टेटमेंट का थर्ड कॉलम, for every output 0.5 kg of raw material are required. Clear है? Standard recovery rate is given to you, it's ₹20. What is the actual quantity of cost driver? It's 48,000 kgs. What is the standard recovery rate? It's ₹20. And what is the actual cost? You have been given this data as ₹9,40,000. तो बस यहां पे आप टोटल लगा लीजिए बेटा. दिस इज 8 लाख रुपी, दिस इज 9,60,000 रुपी. अब यही स्टेटमेंट को बेस बना के यू कैन कंप्लीट द सेकेंड एक्टिविटी डिटेल, दैट इज प्रोडक्ट टेस्टिंग. फिर इसी स्टेटमेंट के नीचे आप लिख दीजिए एनर्जी. सो ये जो स्टेटमेंट है ना, ये फिर आपको दोबारा प्रिपेयर नहीं करना पड़ा रिगार्डिंग ऑल द 3 एक्टिविटीज. लाइकवाइज यू कैन ऑल्सो प्रिपेयर द वर्किंग नोट प्रेजेंटेशन, है ना. इस प्रकार से भी चलेगा. तो जल्दी से अब बेटा मैं आपको 2 मिनट देता हूं, आप मुझे प्रोडक्ट टेस्टिंग और एनर्जी से रिलेटेड तीनों कॉलम फिलअप करके बताइए, उनका ग्रांड टोटल बताइए कि हर कॉलम का कितना कितना टोटल आ रहा है रिलेटिंग टू द एक्टिविटी प्रोडक्ट टेस्टिंग एंड एनर्जी। ठीक है, चलिए 3 मिनट्स है बेटा आपके पास। क्लियर है बेटा? तो इस प्रकार से आपने पूरा कैलकुलेशन कर लिया होगा। अब व्हाट नाउ वी विल डू, वी विल पुट अप द डिटेल हियर। कॉलम नंबर 2 माइनस 3, तो इनडायरेक्ट मटेरियल में देखिए कॉलम नंबर 2 का टोटल 9,60,000 माइनस 9,40,000, सो इट्स 9,60,000 minus 9,40,000. So it's 20,000 rupee positive. Therefore, it will be a favorable variance. इस प्रकार से आपको एग्जामिनेशन में प्रेजेंट करना है बेटा। फिर 22,20,000 माइनस 22,50,000, 22,20,000 minus 22,50,000. So it will be 30,000 adverse. Clear है? फिर next point है 72,000 minus 70,000. 72,000 minus 70,000. It's 2,000 favorable. तो एग्जामिनेशन में हमेशा याद रखिएगा बेटा, दिस इज द मेन स्टेटमेंट व्हाइल द स्टेटमेंट विच वी आर प्रिपेयरिंग टू कंप्यूट द वेरिएंस इज द वर्किंग नोट, है ना. तो इस प्रकार से हमें फिर अब एफिशिएंसी वेरिएंस के लिए भी फाइंड आउट कर देना है ना. सेकेंड एंड थर्ड रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन इज वेरी सिंपल. नाउ दे वांट टू एनालाइज कि 5% जो इनका एक क्राइटेरिया था ना, 5% से जो भी कम ज्यादा होता है हम उन्हीं को एनालाइज करते हैं. तो वी विल फाइंड आउट द वेरिएंसेस इन परसेंटेज टर्म कि 20,000 रुपी हमारा कम लगा है एफ कंपेयर टू 9,60,000. तो कितने परसेंट आ रहा है? इफ द परसेंट इज 5% और मोर, then definitely such variance will be investigated. Otherwise, below 5%, it is immaterial for the organization for this particular question number 22. क्लियर है बेटा? चलिए बड़े में अब आगे. अब आइए एक और क्वेश्चन अपन कंप्लीट करते हैं. How you are feeling in this chapter, beta? Please communicate to me whether this chapter is providing confidence to you that yes, you can complete the planning and operational variances, the variance analysis in ABC environment. Are you comfortable now in this particular chapter regarding those two topics? Please communicate with yes or no, beta. Are you feeling comfortable in this particular topic? Okay, Sairam, yes sir, it's comfortable. Okay, beta. Nisha, feeling confident sir. New technique is awesome. Thanks for that. Okay, beta. Thank you for you also that you are adopting a new technique. Priya, yes sir, comfortable. Okay, beta. Other student Priyanka is comfortable. Manoj, yes sir, very good technique. Okay, beta. So, easy marks are available in standard costing. I can guarantee you. Just you have to focus on few new concepts. That's all. Planning and operational, which thing is to be compared. Variance analysis in ABC environment. Always remember the word. You have to use the quantity of cost driver. You have to use the recovery rate of that activity cost driver. That's all, beta. है ना? चलिए अब आते हैं अपन last question of today. Please open page number 57. It's question number 10. Page number 57. Question number 10. In next session, we will start a very, very important topic in this particular chapter, and that is reconciliation statement. There are total 3 methods that is applicable in our new syllabus. The first method is absorption costing, reconciliation statement through absorption costing, a reconciliation statement through marginal costing, and reconciliation statement through relevant costing. So very, very important lecture is coming on. Next session will be dedicated to reconciliation statement through these 3 approaches. Okay, beta. Let's first complete question number 10. Let's start the question. T-Tech is a Taiwan-based firm that designs, develop, and sell audio equipment. So the company name is T-Tech. The product name is audio equipment. Founded in 1975 by Mr. Boss, firm sell its product throughout the world. Company is best known for its home audio system and speaker, noise cancelling headphones, professional audio system, and automobile sound system. Extracts from the budget are shown in the following table. तो एक particular division है बेटा इनका, home audio system division. Detail has been given for January 2021. and this is the budget detail, and this is the budget दिया हुआ हमें 2021 जनवरी का. So there are two products. The first product is 3000 watt PMPO. The second product audio system is 5000 watt PMPO. How many budgeted units are there? It's 1500 and 500. Selling price is given, budgeted selling price, and standard cost is given. This is the budget now. Extract are the budget. Why the word standard has been used here? The same reason. Budget and standard are interchangeable except in totality. Since the standard cost is given on per system basis, that is per unit basis, you can easily interchange the word standard cost and budget cost. So all the four columns are dedicated to budget detail. The managing director has sent you a copy of an email he received from the sales manager K. जो MD है उसको सेल्स मैनेजर से रिपोर्ट मिली है. द नेम ऑफ सेल्स मैनेजर इज के. वो जो रिपोर्ट आई थी वो आपको उन्होंने फॉरवर्ड किया है. क्या था उस पर्टिकुलर मेल में? वी हैव had an outstanding month. कौन बोल रहा है? सेल्स मैनेजर is saying to the MD that we have had an outstanding month. There was an adverse sale price variance on 3000 watt PMPO system of 22,50,000. Outstanding month है बोल रहा है. और sale price variance on the first product, that is 3000 watt PMPO, was adverse 22,50,000. But I compensated for that by raising the price of 5000 WPMPO system. लेकिन बोलता है कोई टेंशन वाली बात नहीं है सर. जो एडवर्स वेरिएंस आया है प्राइस से रिलेटेड, that I have offset through by increasing the price of the second product, that is 5000 watt WPMPO. Unit sale of 3000 WPMPO system were as expected. Read out this line once again, beta. Unit sale of 3000 WPMPO, that is the first product, were as expected, means the budgeted output and the actual output are same in respect of first product. But sales of the 5000 WPMPO, that is the second product, were exceptional and gave a sales margin volume variance of rupee 23,75,000. I think I deserve a bonus. So sales manager is communicating to its managing director that we are having an outstanding month. Regarding the price variance, we are having the adverse price variance on the first product, but I have offset that adverse price variance by increasing the sale price of the second product. Regarding the volume, the first product sale were as expected, means the budgeted sale of first product and the actual sale of first product are same, while the sale of second product is exceptional. We are having a sales margin volume variance of 23,75,000. Therefore, I deserve a bonus. The managing director has asked for your opinion on this figure. You got the following information. ऊपर जो स्टेटमेंट दिया था हमें वो बजट था. Now this statement is actual. First product, second product, how much unit they have sold, and what is the selling price. Okay. The total market demand for first product was as budgeted. The total market demand. Okay. But as a result of supplier reducing the price of supporting UHD TV system, the total market for second product raised by 50% in January 2021. So अगर हम पूरे मार्केट की बात करें, so फर्स्ट प्रोडक्ट का मार्केट बिल्कुल वैसा ही था जैसा हमने एक्सपेक्ट किया था एट द टाइम ऑफ प्रिपेयरिंग द बजट, but the market for second product has grew by 50% because the supplier has reduced the price of supporting the TV system. The company has sufficient capacity to meet the revised market demand for 750 units of its second product and therefore could maintain its market share. So I request each and every student to read out this question once again, beta. You don't have to solve anything. Just read out this question once again. Then we will discuss the same. I'm giving you 2 or 3 minutes to read out this question one again. No calculation is required right now. Just one more reading is required from your side related to this particular question. Okay, beta. Hope you have done the reading. So, this is the very first question till now in which we are having two products. Right now, we are having single type of raw material, so 3 column are prepared. Single category of labor, so 3 column are prepared. And even we have done 2 or more questions related to sales area. But in that question too, there is only a single product. But this is the very first question in which we are having two products. So the first rule says that if we are having single quantity of raw material, single type of raw material, single category of labor, or single product, you will be preparing 3 columns. But in case you are having 2 or more type of raw material, or 2 or more category of labor, or 2 or more type of product, then you have to prepare 4 column. है ना बेटा? तो पहले इसका बेसिक समझ लेते हैं कॉलम का, फिर अपन स्टेटमेंट में आएंगे कि इस क्वेश्चन में अपने को करना क्या है. So let's learn that technique. Give the heading: how to prepare the statement. How to prepare the statement in case of 2 or more products. In case of company selling 2 or more products. How to prepare the statement in case company is selling 2 or more products. So please understand very carefully, beta. There will be a total of 4 columns as per rule number 1, which we have already written. तो टोटल अब हमारे पास 4 कॉलम रहेंगे यहां पे. There will be a total of 4 columns. Column 1, column 2, column 3 and column 4. Because we are having 2 or more products. Okay. In case of raw material, every column will be multiplied by quantity into price. In case of labor, every column will be multiplied by hour into rate, H into R. In case of sale, every column will be multiplied by output multiply by sale price, output multiply by sale price, output multiply by sale price, and output multiply by sale price. The rule will remain same beta na. The first column will have the standard, लेकिन चूंकि ये time dependent variance है, in place of standard we will use the budget word budget. In the first column the output will be the budget, while in the remaining column the output will be actual. In the last column the sale price will be actual, while in the remaining column the sale price will be the budgeted. तो अभी तक कोई चेंज नहीं आया बेटा, except that we are preparing 4 column. अब आप चेक कीजिए 1, 2, 3 and 4 में से there are 2 column which are similar, 100% similar. What are those 2 column? 1, 2, 3, 4 को आप कंपेयर कीजिए, you will find 2 column which are 100% similar. That is column number 2 and column number 3 is 100% similar. Now please turn the page beta back and find out the third rule. What is the third rule? पहला rule था, in case of single there will be 3 column, in case of 2 or more type of product there will be 4 column. Second rule था, the first column will contain the standard while the remaining will contain the actual. What is the third rule? Third rule आप पढ़िए, pages पलटाइए बेटा. Please turn up the page and read out the third rule. The third rule is that in second column put R. In second column put R, that is the R stand for revised. R stand for revised, है ना. तो अब ये differentiate हुआ है बेटा R से. Now what's the meaning of RAO? The meaning of RAO is revised actual output. That is, if actual output is sold in the budgeted ratio, if actual output is sold in the budgeted ratio, that will be known as revised actual output. The word revised is not similar to what we have studied in planning and operational variance. In planning and operational variance, the standard will be revised. While in this particular concept, when we are having 2 or more type of raw material, 2 or more category of labor, or 2 or more type of product, then RAO stands for revised actual output. That is, had the actual output sold by the company is being sold in the budgeted ratio. So actual output आपने बेचा है, अगर वो budgeted ratio में आपने बेचा होता तो क्या? Consider an example बेटा. This is the budget. This is the actual. Output detail is given to you. Product A, output is suppose 2000 unit. Here 2100 unit. Product B, output is 3000. Here it's 3900. है ना? So BO is budgeted output क्या हमारा? It is 2000 is to 3000. What is actual output? Actual output is 2100 unit है और 3900 unit है. Now we have to find out the revised actual output. What do you mean by revised actual output? If actual output is sold in budgeted ratio, जो भी आपने output बेचा है, बेच दिया है, if that is sold in the budgeted ratio, budgeted sales ratio, what would be the quantity? That is known as revised actual output. Still, I am providing you 1 minute beta to try on your own, because nothing to lose from your side. Always there will be gain when a student do the new concept on their own. What will be the revised actual output? Please communicate me. Revised actual output कितने quantity आएगा मुझे आप बताइए दोनों प्रोडक्ट का. And remember this line is very important. अगर एक्चुअल आउटपुट जो टोटल एक्चुअल आउटपुट है, टोटल एक्चुअल आउटपुट इफ फोल्ड इन द बजटेड रेशियो, दैट इज नोन एज रिवाइज्ड एक्चुअल आउटपुट। आई एम वेटिंग फॉर योर आंसर बेटा। 1 मिनट में आपको देता हूं, एक बार आप अपने लेवल पे इसको ट्राई कीजिए। ओके, वेरी गुड बेटा। इट्स 2400 इज टू 3600, करेक्ट आंसर है। तो देखिए, सबसे पहले what we will do, we will make a total of actual output. The actual output is 6000 units. The actual output is 6000 units, while the budgeted ratio is 2:3. While the budgeted ratio is 2:3. So जो actual output है हमारा 6000, if that actual output is sold in the budgeted ratio, that is 2:3, तो जब आप इसको bifurcate करेंगे 2 और 3 में, so it will be 2400 units for product A and 3600 units for product B. Understood बेटा? तो very simple concept, RAO, अगर actual output if sold in the budgeted ratio, that is known as revised actual output. Okay, now complete this statement beta. So let's check out the similarity and then thereafter we can give the nomenclature. In column number 3 and 4, actual output is same, so there cannot be output difference. The difference is due to the sale price. In column number 3, the sale price is budgeted. In column number 4, the sale price is actual. So the difference between column number 3 and column number 4 is called price variance. Is called price variance, है ना? फिर अब column number 2 और 3 में there are two similarities. In column number 2 and 3, there are two similarities. The first similarity is the sale price is same. The second similarity is in column number 3 we are having the actual output. In column number 2 also we are having the actual output. So output is same, budgeted sale price is same. So what is the difference? This is the actual output in actual ratio. Actual ratio 2100 और 3100 total 6000 का output है, and that is in actual ratio. While RAOA में जो भी हमारा actual output है, that actual output is in budgeted ratio, that is 2400 is to 3600. So once again beta, the similarity in column number 2 and 3 is the budgeted sale price is same, the total output 6000 is same, the difference is due to the ratio. In third column, actual output is in actual ratio, while in the second column, the actual output is in the budgeted ratio. तो इसका आंसर हो जाएगा बेटा, this will be called as mix variance. This will be called as mix variance. Okay. The similarity between 1 and 2 is sale price is same, even the ratio is same. This output is in budgeted ratio, and definitely budgeted output is itself in budgeted ratio. The only difference is This is the budgeted output. This is the actual output. So this will be called as sub-volume variance. Sub-volume, or this can also be called as quantity variance. And the total of sub-volume and mix will be called as volume variance. क्लियर बेटा? चलिए लिख दीजिए आप इस पूरे आंसर को. And this is impact on turnover. Try to recall, beta. In sales variance, we are having two type of variances. The first one will be impact on turnover, while the second will be the impact on margin. Impact on turnover and impact on margin. In case of margin, output will remain same. The only difference will be in case of turnover, we use the budgeted sale price. In case of margin, we will use the margin word denoted by capital M. ठीक है बेटा. अब आप एक काम करिए, आई एम गिविंग यू 3 to 4 मिनट. अब इसी को आप मान के चलिए, इफ वी आर हैविंग 2 or more प्रोडक्ट एंड the sales variance is to be find out through margin approach. Please write down beta. We are having 2 or more product and sales variance is to be find out, and sales variance is to be find out through margin approach. तो वही 4 कॉलम बनेंगे बेटा, सब कुछ वही रहेगा. इंस्टीड ऑफ सेल प्राइस वी विल यूज द वर्ड एम, दैट इज मार्जिन. बाकी सब कुछ वही. सेकेंड कॉलम अगेन विल बी हैविंग RAO, एक्चुअल आउटपुट इन बजटेड रेशियो. सो 3 to 4 मिनट्स आर अवेलेबल विथ यू. ट्राई ऑन योर ओन. अगर 2 या 2 से ज्यादा प्रोडक्ट है एंड इफ वी आर सपोज टू फाइंड आउट द वेरिएंसेस बेस्ड ऑन मार्जिन, then how that statement will look like, what will be the column difference will be called, है ना. 3 to 4 minutes are available with you बेटा. चलिए ट्राई किया बेटा आपने। अब देखिए अगेन देयर विल बी 4 कॉलम। We are now computing what will be the impact on margin, impact on profit. But intentionally, I have already told you the logic that the profit word has not been used. Instead of the profit, the margin has been used because sales department is not responsible for the difference in cost. Okay, so there will be 4 column. In case of margin, every column will be a multiplication of output multiplied by margin. The first column will be the budgeted output, while the rest of the column will be the actual output. The last column actual margin, while the remaining column budgeted margin. And what's the new in fourth column? There will be introduction of alphabet R in the second column, that is revised actual output. All the detail will remain same. All the comparison will remain same. Just the difference is now this statement will provide the impact on your margin, that due to increase in the or decrease in the sale volume, due to increase or decrease in the sale price, what will be impact on your pocket. This will show you impact on margin. चलिए एक बार इसको कंपेयर कर लेते हैं बेटा। So the similarity in column number 3 and 4 is due to the output. The difference is due to the margin. So this will be called as sales margin price variance. Sale margin price variance. While the similarity in column number 2 and 3 is budgeted margin are same, actual output is same. Just the difference is in third column, the output is in actual ratio, while in second column, the output is in budgeted ratio. This will be denoted by sales margin mix variance. Sales margin mix variance. Comparing column number 1 and 2, the budgeted margin are same. The ratio is same. In column number 1, the output is in budgeted ratio. In column number 2, the output is also in budgeted ratio. The only difference is this is the budgeted output while this is the actual output. So this will be called as sales margin sub volume variance. Sales margin sub volume variance, also known as quantity variance, है ना। और इन दोनों का टोटल हमेशा होगा सेल्स मार्जिन वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस। क्लियर है बेटा? सो दिस इज द कंसेप्ट that is applicable for the first time in case we are having 2 or more type of raw material, 2 or more type of category of labor, or 2 or more products. So there will be a total 4 column, and in the second column the output or the quantity, as the case may be, will be the revised one. That is, had the actual quantity or the actual output been in the standard ratio, that is the budgeted ratio, what will be the answer? So that will be denoted by column number 2. ओके चलिए अब आइए इस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन में दैट वी हैव स्टार्टेड फ्यू मिनट्स बैक इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 10. व्हाट इज द रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट? रीड आउट द रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट. Calculate the following operational variances based on the revised market detail. You have to find out 2 variances related to sales margin mix variance and sale margin volume variance. So which statement we will prepare to find out the variances in requirement part number 1? Whether impact on turnover statement will be prepared to find out the variances as communicated in requirement part number 1, or we have to prepare the statement that will show impact on margin to solve the requirement part number 1. Please think over it, beta. Which statement we will prepare? Impact on turnover or impact on margin to find out the answer of requirement part number 1. I'm waiting. Please revert. Okay, Priya, the answer is correct. It impact on margin will be computed because the requirement part clearly state to compute the mix variance and the volume variance related to margin. हमें margin से related mix variance और volume variance find out करना है ना? So we will prepare the statement of impact on margin to find out the requirement part number 1. Okay. The actual output is 1500 and 600. The total is 2100. The total is 2100. Can you please tell me what is the revised actual output? Revised actual output आप मुझे बताइए बेटा, communicate कीजिए. This is the most important part of requirement part number 1. And before computing, before making any calculation, have a reading of the requirement part number 1, and then please communicate what is the revised actual output. Actual output is 2100. 2100 had those 2100 units being sold in the revised ratio, budgeted ratio. What will be the revised actual output? Tell me the answer. This is the most important point of this particular question. I'm waiting, beta, na? But I have already given you the, before making the calculation, have a interpretative reading of requirement part number 1, then only proceed towards the calculation. No, Priya, beta, it's not correct, I think. Priya, it's not correct, beta. Don't answer in a hurry. Take your time. Read out the requirement part very, very carefully. You will get the logic there. How to get the revised actual output. If actual output converted into ratio, then what will be the answer? Tell me, beta. This is very, very important words that have been used in the requirement part. Revised market detail. This word, revised market detail. Okay. So this is the budget. This is the actual. First product, second product. Budget 1 will be having 15,000. Product 1 will be having 15,000 unit. Product 2 will be having 5,000 unit or 500 unit. Actual is 1500 and 500. Sorry, and 600. That is total 2100 unit actual output. While we are not supposed to compare the actual with the budget, हमें revised market detail के हिसाब से, revised market detail के हिसाब से हमें ये variance निकालना है. So, what is the change in the revised detail? It has been given that the budgeted sale, the total market demand for first product was as budgeted. Means जितना market demand सोचा गया था first product था, उतना ही market demand actually रहा है. So there will be no change. It will be same. 1500 यहाँ पे same आ जाएगा. Revised market detail में भी clear cut में दिया the total market demand for first product was as budgeted. But second point, most important point. But as a result of supplier reducing the price of supporting UHD TV system, the total market for second product raised by 50% in January 21. तो रिवाइज मार्केट डिटेल में सेकंड प्रोडक्ट की सेल जो भी आपने बजट में सोची थी उसके कंपैरिजन में मार्केट हैज बीन इंक्रीज्ड बाय 50%. सो 500 का अगर आप 50% बढ़ा देंगे तो दैट विल बी 750 यूनिट्स रिवाइज्ड मार्केट डिटेल. और ये डिटेल हमें दिया भी है बेटा. रिवाइज्ड मार्केट डिमांड इज नाउ 750 यूनिट and you have to compare the mix variance and the volume variance based on the revised market detail. सो अब ध्यान दीजिएगा, जो रेशियो है आपका, द रेशियो विल बी 2:1, नॉट 3:1. ओरिजिनल रेशियो हमारा 3:1 था, बट नाउ द रिवाइज मार्केट डिटेल, बेस्ड ऑन रिवाइज मार्केट डिटेल, द रेशियो इज 2:1. सो 2100 यूनिट को जब आप 2:1 में बाइफरकेट करेंगे, यू विल बी हैविंग 1400 एंड 700 यूनिट. क्लियर है बेटा आपको? चलिए, कोई डाउट है इस पॉइंट में, पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट में? सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट था बेटा, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट था ये. एनी डाउट बेटा? प्लीज कम्युनिकेट इन दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट कि क्यों हमने 3:1 का रेशियो नहीं लिया. व्हाई वी हैव कंसीडर्ड 2:1 रेशियो? Because requirement part clearly state the word based on revised market detail, and the revised budget is 1500 and 750 units. 750 units. Hope this point is clear, beta. So, assignment to you: do this question on your own. That's the most important part which we have discussed. That now the mix variance and the volume variance will be computed based on this. Do it on your own. Definitely, we will do this question on the next session, on the starting of the next session also, beta, na? And in next session, we will start a very, very important topic, that is reconciliation statement. So don't miss out that topic. That's the most important topic of this particular chapter, chapter number 11. Okay, beta? Till then, have a great day. Thank you for watching the session. Thanks a lot, beta.